showed him, she ran on a base of young minority voters that are often not expected to turn out, and they did, which is pretty cool. Double-digit win for Ayanna Pressley, really great progressive. Capuano, a little bit as good as a progressive. I mean, still, it really doesn't matter. We still get progressives, which is good. And that's the point of our primaries. They make your party better. And the fact that some people say, why was she challenged? I don't know. But the point is to get as much progressives in there as possible and to just get some good stuff coming in across the table. Like, that's really what we want to see here. So, yeah. So, let's see what more about this. She says, quote, I think people's openness to a disruptive run laid the groundwork for something they might laid the groundwork for that to be something that more people could embrace, and the movement that they may want to be part of. Presley previously worked for Joe Kennedy and Senator John Kerry before becoming the first black woman elected to the Boston City Council. She, like Florida gubernatorial candidate Andrew Gilmore, part of a progressive wave of candidates who are winning unexpected victories against the Democratic establishment. I think arguably that I have been a faithful soldier for this party nationally. I'm already a strong voice, which is why I have been engaged as a surrogate for our party locally and nationally. It's a tremendous honor. Presley told Politico, I love this party. I love our party. I think we have an opportunity to get closer to who we say we are. So, it's a pretty good optimistic view about the Democratic Party. Something that not all progressives share. They say, why fix the Democratic Party? Why can't we just create a new party? Like, I don't think that, to me personally, I kind of agree with her. I think we should change the Democratic Party from the inside up, which is something that in this first year alone we've had some pretty great success with. Like, it's just the first year here. Like, we're trying to win everything, although it's never going to happen because no one wins anything in electoral politics. But the good thing is we are seeing some real change and some real progress here with the election of the election of Presley in this race. So yeah, very good stuff to see. Everyone's happy about that. So it's definitely a good news story. All right, we have more stories for you next. So please, if you will, stay with us. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to News Flash today. Thank you so much for joining us. Really, really appreciate it. We continue to have a great show for you today. Really, again, appreciate you sticking with us here as we are live on this Wednesday morning. Is a week already flying by. All right, so the election of civil rights attorney Larry Krasner as district attorney in Philadelphia has already completely reshaped policing and criminal justice in the city. In his first week, and we covered this before, I believe, on the show, he fired 31 prosecutors who wouldn't get on board with this program of radical change and instituted a do-not-call list, a list of 29 officers who should not be used as witnesses in criminal cases due to their tainted records. Then, in an incredible memo, he told prosecutors to stop all prosecutions for weed possession. The first line of the memo reads, quote, "These policies are an effort to end mass incarcerations and bring balance back to sentencing." So this is just a progressive guy, Larry Krasner, district attorney, really coming in with an iron fist. I love this here in Philadelphia, one of the coolest stuff. So, Kim says a little surprised that Krasner is now the first Philly DA to charge a cop with murder in almost 2 decades. After a year of investigation, former Philadelphia police officer Ryan Pownall will be charged with murder for shooting David Jones in the back during a traffic stop in 2017. He's already been denied bail, and his preliminary hearings will begin on September 19th. Really some pretty incredible stuff from Larry Krasner, really breaking mold, really breaking some serious precedent here with this charge, and it's really just something that we have not seen before in a long time. So I mean, he's been bringing a lot of radical progressive change, like not something that you see every day. It's been really quite a shock to the city of Philadelphia, and a big credit, a big portion of the credit goes to Larry Krasner for stepping up and actually doing this. So yeah, John McNesby had to say something about it. Today's meritless indictment clearly illustrates a district attorney who has anti-law enforcement agenda. John McNesby, president of the Fraternal Order of the Police Lodge 5, told reporters in a press conference, kind of a weird name for your little thing there. In June 2017, Pownall was driving a father and his children to the station for an interview, and he saw Jones riding a dirt bike. "Look at this mother effer," Pownall said. The adult and children in the car witnessed the encounter. The Philadelphia Inquirer describes what happened next, by the way, reporting here up to this point from Splinter. The reporter says Pownall, and that it does include our last stories, other than, I believe, the New York Times, which I don't think we really sourced anything from the New York Times except for that editorial mashup. Just want to pause there and give the shout-outs. So this is Philadelphia Inquirer. The report says Pownall cursed at Jones, then frisked him and felt a gun. A struggle ensued, but Jones broke free and ran away. According to the report, Pownall tried to fire a service gun, but it jammed. He fixed it and fired at least 3 shots, the report says, striking Jones in the back. Jones's weapon, which was he was barred from legally owning because of his previous felony convictions, was later found on the ground roughly 25 feet from where Pownall was firing in the opposite direction of Jones' flight. So yeah, pretty much what happened, and it was really quite clear that it happened, was Jones' death was not necessary to secure his apprehension, an apprehension that would have never been necessary if Pownall had not incited the confrontation, a grand jury report on the shooting says. So bam, bam, bam. You tell him, grand jury report there. An investigation of the Philadelphia Weekly City and State PA last month reported that there were 15 civilian complaints against Pownall between 2013 and 2018. He was involved in another incident in 2010 when he shot a black man from behind. The shooting victim survived and no charges were pressed. Last time a police officer was charged for a shooting in Philadelphia was 1999. The case didn't go to trial, and the charges were dismissed by 2 judges. Jones' father was happy to hear about the charges. It doesn't bring him back, but hopefully we continue to get justice. This is a city, like many other American cities, where there has not been accountability for activity by police officers in uniform, especially when that activity involves violence against civilians. Krasner said at a press conference he described the case as an attempt to apply justice even-handedly, and admittedly that taking a step to charge a police officer with homicide was regrettably unusual. So yeah, it's definitely a pretty bold, encourageable step here from Larry Krasner in Philadelphia. Just something that we really haven't seen before. It's something that's out of the norm, and really that's probably one of the most important things to get to realize. So yeah. And whatever help it brings the father is some pretty good stuff. All right, so yeah, we now turn to a new story about Donald Trump being crazy. What a shocker. That's next. Hello, gentlemen. Welcome back to today's show. My name is Spencer Walsh. Thank you so much for joining us here today. We got a lot of stuff to get to here. All right, so a lot of stuff here just in the story alone, and it's all about fear in the White House. It's hardly a secret that President Donald Trump, the White House, under President Donald Trump, the White House has been reduced to petty infighting, ass kissing, and a surrealist bunker hunkering. But according to newly released excerpts from the veteran reporter's Bob Woodward's forthcoming book, Fear, Trump in the White House, obtained by both CNN and the Washington Post and due to be released next Tuesday, things sound worse than we could have possibly feared. Painting the picture of a presidency moving slowly toward an administrative coup d'etat and a nervous breakdown, Woodward's book features the anecdote after anecdote by the senior White House staffers. Gotta love anecdotes. Among them is White House Chief John Kelly, who reportedly referred to Trump during a meeting with aides as an idiot. Kelly reportedly continued, "It's pointless to try to convince him of anything. He's gone off the rails. We're in crazy town. I don't know why any of us are here. This is the worst job I've ever had." Like, that pretty much puts it in very plain terms there. It isn't Kelly either, though, apparently. This was no longer a presidency. This is no longer a White House. Disgraced former aide Rob Porter allegedly said, This is a man being who he is. Former National Economic Council Director Gary Cohen, meanwhile, reportedly described Trump as a professional liar in the wake of Trump's both sides comments last year following Charlottesville. And Cohen reportedly threatened to resign. Woodward claims Kelly told Cohen, "If that was me, I would have taken that resignation letter and shoved it up his ass 6 different times." Wow. Yeah, so Kelly, so pretty much what happened, Cohen threatened to resign. Woodward claims Kelly told Cohen, "If that was me, I would have taken that resignation letter and shoved it up his ass 6 different times." That's pretty much what the country felt doing there, due to the just blatant display of open racism there, which is incredible, pretty incredible stuff. Of course, insults are a two-way street in Trump's orbit. Per Woodward, the president repeatedly dressed down his staff, including long-suffering Attorney General Jeff Sessions said, about whom Trump said, very ironically, "This guy is mentally retarded. He's this dumb Southerner. He couldn't even be a one-person country lawyer down in Alabama." Or Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross was told, "I don't trust you. I don't want you doing any more negotiations. You're past your prime." Former Chief of Staff Reince Priebus, Trump referred to as a rat, like a little rat who just scurries around. Trump even made a special point of going after his then supporter, now attorney, Rudy Giuliani, who he thought had done an inadequate job defending him after the Access Hollywood tape leaked during the 2016 election. "Rudy, you're a baby," Trump reportedly said. "I've never seen a worse defense of me in my life. They took the diaper right off you there. You're like a little baby that needs to be changed. When are you going to be a man?" Jeez. Coming in hot there. Wow. Understandably, the Trump White House isn't exactly the sort of place that encourages deep and meaningful friendships among colleagues. In one anecdote in Woodward's book, a former senior advisor, Steve Bannon, Trump's daughter Ivanka, a White House advisor as well, got into a heated argument. "You're a goddamn staffer," Bannon reportedly shouted at her. "You walk around this place and act like you're in charge, and you're not. You're on the staff." "I'm not a staffer," Ivanka reportedly chatted back. "I'll never be a staffer. I'm the first daughter." Whoa, Ivanka coming in hot there as well. Everyone's coming in hot. In addition to such displays of this terrific working environment, Woodward's book also features alarming claims that Trump is totally clueless about actual policies and presidential actions. At one point, Woodward said that Cohen simply stole a document Trump intended to sign that would have pulled America out of a trade deal with South Korea off Trump's desk without the president ever noticing. Cohen also reportedly bragged that he would be able to do the same if a document to pull the U.S. out of NAFTA ever made it to the president's desk. And he probably would. This is something that a lot of people don't understand. They think, oh, he's a smart guy. No, he's not a smart guy. He's an idiot.